you watch all the politics this week?
I watched some of the politics this week.
Were you excited about all the politics this week?
How many politics were there? Would you 3? I guess.
3 politics.
That
was it. Nothing else.
Two of the 3 politics were pretty good. And one of them was not good.
Yeah, one of them was bad. It's pretty bad too. Well, you notice it, like, more and more rednecks are getting computers now. And this is an issue. Because you start seeing it. First of all, Facebook is just the worst place in the world. Like, I don't need to go see my granny be racist on the internet.
Yeah.
Because it's out there now. You can hide your racist granny usually, but now it's out there.
Yeah. Your grandma's Facebook?
No, that was just an example.
Oh, okay.
That was a clever lie.
I was impressed by your racist grandma ability to get on Facebook and accumulate some friends as well.
Oh.
We were walking like 2 o'clock in the morning down a street, and there's like a girl walking in front of you, like a few feet ahead.
Oh.
And you just like, you want to yell like, I'm not a bad person.
Fear not. Fear not me. But that would only make the situation worse.
No, I know, but I feel so bad every time. One time, I had to literally, this girl was walking so slow in this bad neighborhood, and she was like talking on her phone and just like walking so slow, and I needed to pass her. So so about 5 feet behind her, I like yelled, I was like, on your right.
I'm going to pass you.
I'm going to pass you and
Is
not
this enough
touch you.
space in between us?
Do you feel comfortable?
How further? I can do further.
I'll cross the street and then it's okay.
What you should do is just go up and whisper in her ear, I'm not dangerous. And then just go.
I'm a safe man.
I support women's rights.
Oh, man. It's a real problem. I worked at a toy store, and there was a mother paying for something, and she had her like 3-year-old son with her, and the son was just like crying and crying and throwing this huge fit, and she was kind of just ignoring him, and he wanted this Lego set so bad that he was just like on the floor throwing a tantrum until he just like picked himself up, ran over to the Lego set, grabbed it, and then ran out the door. This kid was willing to leave behind everything he knew for this Lego set.
Me and this Lego set are going to start anew. We're going to find a little place together, something cheap.
I don't need you, Mom. I just need this Lego set.
That's all I need to be happy. It's this Lego set. So how did you react? What did the mom do?
She was a little shocked, and then one of my coworkers went outside and picked him up.
What are the rules on that?
Brought him back
is that
inside.
taboo?
Oh man, I would pick up kids all the time that would run out because their moms like aren't paying attention and they just like run outside. Either if they keep running, like if they're like at a really young age and they just like keep running, then I just pick them up. And then if they're like young and they just kind of wander outside, then I'm like, hey buddy, like party's in here, and like stick out my hands, so, like maybe if they want to hold it or something, and then walk them back inside.
I mean, like there's people that are like, I love all kids. Fuck you. You have not met all kids. If you work at a place like a toy store or a restaurant, you know that you hate some kids. There are kids that I would punch in the face and not feel a thing. Just not any guilt. Or, if there were no laws against punching kids in the face, which I assume there are, I totally, if I could get away with it, yeah, I'd punch a kid. There's a kid the other day who sat down with his dad, and his dad just looked like exhausted. Like the weight of this kid's constant shittiness just had worn him down. Just to, whatever. And the kid apparently was a big SpongeBob fan. So he wanted to eat clams. There's no clams on the kids' menu. So his dad was like, you can't get clams. And he just sat there. And for 10 minutes, he did not stop doing this. I want clams. 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 And I was about to just lose my fucking mind. I thought that was going to go postal on this kid. Can't have any fucking clams, all right? You little shit.
I loved tantrums, though, when I worked at the toy store.
I mean, they'd be fun to watch from a distance as long as you didn't have to deal with them.
They were. I don't know why. Probably because, I didn't have to get involved in any way. And, I saw them all the time. So, it was something I was used to. But the tantrums were so funny because it was just watching a kid just, lose all of their shit over like a Groovy Girl doll or just like, anything, you know what I mean? Or like a remote control car. Just like think about times in your life that you've cried and like what emotional like state you were in. And then look at this child who's on the floor, bawling their eyes out. They can't even breathe. They're choking because they're crying so hard because they're not allowed to get these sea monkeys.
Or a Groovy Girl doll.
My favorite line, too, is like when any 6-year-old or 7-year-old would go like, for some reason, right around this time, kids learn this phrase. They go, I've wanted this my entire life.
I said that about an NSYNC CD once.
Really?
I remember it vividly. Oh. It was the self-titled one where they all had really bad hair.
Is this pre or post Millennium?
Millennium was Backstreet Boys. So how about you pull your shit together for a second?
Oh, God.
Rein it in, David.
Right now.
Rein it in.
So
I believe you're thinking of No Strings Attached, which chronologically would have been around the same time as Millennium. Okay. No, I'm talking about the self-titled album, the NSYNC album, just, NSYNC. And it was the one that had, it's tearing up my heart when I'm with you, but when we are, and like when that song came onto the pool, I just lost it. Like that shit was my jam. I loved that. And my dad used to work for the Catholic Church, and we were at like a priest's house, and somebody had given him this NSYNC CD, and like I was just listening to, like I was jamming it out. Like he gave me these headphones, and I was just absolutely just losing my mind that I was finally getting to listen to all of NSYNC's, just profound album. And I remember he was like, if you want this, you can have it. I don't listen to this. I'm a 50-year-old Catholic
There's no
priest,
time that a Catholic priest
and I'm not the
to
stereotype, so you can have the boy band album. And I think my dad was worried that there might be like sexual things on the album, like they might be subliminally telling you to jerk off or something. I don't know, but so he was like, no, you can't have this. And I remember just weeping, just giant tears of boy band frustration. I was in so much turmoil because I couldn't have NSYNC's self-titled album.
No.
That was when I spoke the words. I've wanted this my entire life, Dad. You are ruining everything.
Oh, man. It's so funny because it comes from such an earnest place.
You believe it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from their perspective, last week is as far back as their life as they can remember.
Oh, yeah.
And when they heard that NSYNC song on the radio or they saw that commercial for Beyblades, they needed...
And that was back in the days when like a year, are you fucking kidding me? A year was just like the longest time ever. There was no other time longer than a year. And summers lasted millennia. It was beautiful. Right now, I remember I looked up the other day at the date and I was like, oh shit, it's almost July? What, did we have a June this year? Was there a June? And yeah, it's sad.
6 months till Christmas.
It's sad to think about. First of all, if you're from Kentucky, there's a way to say shit, and it's not like a normal person. It's like really throaty and deep, and it's like a shit. And my uncles have perfected the art of shit. It's almost beautiful. It's like Southern poetry.
My grandma says shit a lot, but she's Canadian, so it's almost like the opposite of that. It's like she's like, sheet. It's pretty funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, she's French-Canadian, so it's a French accent.
Oh, that's not fun. I don't want to do that one.
Oh, man. Do you remember... Okay, here's what... Do you ever watch Malcolm in the Middle?
I have before.
Do you remember the grandma?
No.
Can I tell you one of the worst video game decisions I've ever made?
Video game decisions?
Yes. I'm sitting here in my childhood bedroom at the moment, and I have a library of DS games that I've bought right here. And if I could just pull one aside and read you the title.
Please do.
Nintendogs.
I remember Nintendogs. I didn't have Nintendogs because I was like, who would buy Nintendogs?
Oh,
and it was David Byrne. David Byrne was that guy.
You know what? It's...
Wait a second. What should we call our game? It's about dogs. What system's it on? Nintendo. I got it.
It's not just the system. It was a first-party game. Nintendo themselves developed this game. Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario and Zelda and Metroid, came up with Nintendogs.
Of Nintendogs fame. That's how I'd like to think of him as. And then, I I have nothing to say to that. Good job. Great job.
It's hard talking about politics, I feel.
Yeah.
All the time.
I don't know what to say ever.
You mean either. I just either I'm happy or I'm sad.
Good job, bad job.
Good job, bad job.
That's it.
That's what our ballots should say.
Awesome. Shitty.
When we get little YouTube thumbs up and thumbs down. Can we just reenact it?
Yeah. So Act 1. Hey everybody. Eric Glass here, and today we're going to be looking at The Karate Kid. Now, in the scene, Daniel tosses the keys to his girlfriend, takes the car. She says, "You're going to let me drive?" And he says, "Hey, it's the 80s." I had a guy the other day, too, who came up and he was like, "I'd like to talk to you for a second, son." Shoot. Can't wait. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. He was like, "Everything here was delicious, except for that lobster tail, and it tasted like mashed potatoes." I was like, oh.
How could it be everything if that's isn't the lobster tail the core of the meal?
Yeah, I mean, it was a big meal. I don't know. There's some giant expensive meals at popular seafood restaurant. And he was like, "It tastes like mashed potatoes." And I was like, oh, I don't know why that is, but do you want me to get a manager or something? Do you want me to, try to take care of it for you or whatever? And he goes, "Nope, I just wanted you to know that my lobster tail tasted like mashed potatoes." Why? Why was that necessary knowledge for me to have? What am I'm gonna go through and taste all the lobster tails and make sure none of the other ones are mashed potato lobster tails. What am I gonna do with that information, and why did you feel that I needed to know it?
He just wanted you to know that he knows that you've just been stuffing mashed potatoes into lobster tails
to make it look like lobster tails,
passing them off as lobster.
They're probably instant too. Instant mashed potato lobster tails. By the way, speaking of rednecks, that's like a derogatory term that nobody is offended by.
Well, mostly because it's for white people.
Yeah, and it's
can't. How are you gonna offend white people?
Well, especially rednecks.
Yeah,
like if you called a redneck, he'd be like, "Shit, yeah, I'm a redneck."
Oh, the pride. That's the one thing too in the South is that the pride. I just don't. I've never been proud of anything in my life. I don't understand it.
You should hate yourself like the rest of the world.
Where's the constant loathing?
The self-loathing.